Hello and welcome to this Twilight Princess any% speedrunning tutorial. I've made a tutorial before, but it is outdated and it was also unfinished. This is the newest and the fastest route for this game, for the any% route, for the any% category. I mean, as of right now, it might get outdated, but you know, things change. And if it does get outdated, then that's good, because that means the run will be faster. But yeah, I want to just jump straight into it because so many people just want me to get started. Like, they don't want to hear me talk about a lot of additional information. I'll leave it to the description. So I'll just start right away. I'm gonna use file 2 as my running file. And the reason for this is to save time on this screen later, by moving up and down the cursor. So it doesn't matter what you name Link or Epona, because after doing the back in time glitch, the name will be Link and Epona. So always mash start if you're unsure about a cutscene happening or not. It's better to skip a cutscene. Well, like, it's better if you actually pause the game than to watch a cutscene that you could have skipped. So like, an accidental pause is nothing compared to watching a 2-minute long cutscene. So always mash start to skip a cutscene. If you're not sure whether or not there is a cutscene you can skip or that you have to watch. So I won't really explain this in detail because I already have a tutorial on how to do this efficiently. But you place the rock right next to this pink flower. Like, Link's head is to the right of this pink flower. So you place it down and then you side up into the fence, and then you roll and bonk. And ta-da. Then you side hop, and that was 1 frame late. And then you do X start and B to reset your console. I'm gonna do this only in 1 take as of now. If I fail again, I will start over. But yeah, you can just skip past back in time, like forward this video if you want to, because I have a video on how back in time works that explains it in great detail. So honestly, you should just forward this video for like 40 seconds or so. But I will do this all in 1 take, like this part, instead of starting a file at back in, like, after loading back in time. Loading a back in time file. So it's important that you press X, start and B. It doesn't have to be that order. But don't press B too quickly. I've lost like 20 attempts where I got the back in time frame. You can save warp as soon as you hit A to save. As soon as you hit A or yes to save, you can soft reset the console and it will save. You don't have to wait at all. But as I was saying, I've lost so many attempts where I've gotten the correct frame, but I've just hit X, start and B at the same time. Just like, I've hit all the 3 buttons too quickly, so I didn't end up actually resetting at the right frame. So you can hit X and start at the same time, but delay the B input by just the slightest amount of time. Because B will close the item menu and you want that to be your last input. There's something called quick equip, so if you press the button you want to assign an item to twice, then it makes kind of this noise, and it goes over to the button much quicker. Nothing to worry about, but I just wanted to point it out. So for back in time and how like how gate clip and back in time works, watch the first video in the description. Title something like in the description, the title will be something like back in time. That rat can sometimes be on the other side of the cobweb and hit you. I've had it happen like 3 times out of all my attempts that I've gotten this far, which is a lot of attempts. I don't know what causes it, it's just sometimes the rat will be on the wrong side of the cave. For movement, just try to time the rolls. It's pretty pointless to mash your rolls, you'll just grow tired. There's really no point in mashing the rolls, you might as well time it. He gave me a good swing, but I was in a bad position, so usually you will avoid his hit right there, because the swing was vertical. But yeah, don't mash the rolls. I sometimes mash for dashing when I'm wolf, but not constantly. I mash just right before I regain my dash ability. I mash A for a tiny bit. You can double tap though, like... I think Fino does that. I'm not sure if he still does it, but I'm pretty sure he is one or was one of the people who did that, and that's very fine. But it is kind of lame to mash your rolls, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. I should not have jump attacked there because I was really far away from the cutscene trigger, so I should have done a roll stab instead. But if your rolls are good, you will end your roll right before that cutscene trigger, so you can jump attack into the cutscene. Jump attack and then spin the control stick either clockwise or counterclockwise fast before a link hits the ground, and that way your jump attack will be chained into a quick spin immediately as you land. And that's a technique that's used a lot in this run. And when you're mashing text, mash A and B together, so alter between A and B. So personally I use my left thumb for B and right thumb for A, but you can just use like one hand and mash with other fingers, but it's difficult to quickly assign your thumb to the control stick after mashing text if you're not using both of your thumbs. Hopefully this will be a good goat session. I'm not gonna bother like getting a perfect goat and explaining why it works, why that goat was good, why that goat session was bad. I use the C-stick when I do goats. I think I'm the only one who does that. Not needed, but I just want to get a good overview of the goats. Your whoop range is pretty wide, so just take note of that whenever you whoop, you have a pretty far range. So goats that you might not want to affect might still notice you whooping and fleeing from you, which can be bad. So just take note of that. And because of the back in time glitch, Ordon is now in a different state than it should be. So you can get the Iron Beast right away. But you'll have to manually mash your way through the cutscenes. Right there I targeted Bo before I spoke to him, and I believe that's like slightly faster than walking up to him, because when you target something you have a bit longer talk range, at least usually. So you have to manually mash your way through these text boxes. But casually it's supposed to be a cutscene, so you only... like, there are pauses between the text boxes, but you can't move around freely after each set of text boxes. I believe this is one of two text boxes in the game where you have to actually move the control stick down to press no. Pressing B will not do anything here, which is silly, but that's how it works. Bow is all luck. Most people just mash A, some people mash B. I will just mash A for the first part. Let's hope for good luck. And I got good luck, so it's not a perfect bow, but for just mashing A, that's a perfect bow. Or actually no, the perfect bow would not slap me. This guy attempted to slap me twice. The perfect mashing A bow would just stand still and do nothing. I will mash B now, I guess, because I will expect him to sidestep. He'll probably dodge this eventually. Okay, no, he did sidestep. I'll just mash A. That was a very good bow. If you get that in runs, you'll be very happy. If he sidesteps and you slap him, and then you grab him, you can do you can push him off in like that amount of moveset. So he sidesteps, you slap him, and then you grab him, and then you mash A, and that can be enough to push him off. Well, you need to mash very, very quickly. You can see the task does it, and it looks really cool. So we're going to do a glitch later on in the run called early boss fights, and in order for that to work with this route, you jump off here. You can save before you jump off, but I will jump off and then pause the game, save on file 3, and then continue. If you press A right before you land after a jump, then as soon as Link hits the ground he will roll, which allows for more smooth movement. This trigger right here is extremely wide, so it doesn't matter which way you roll, and you always get placed here, even though I rolled over there. So it's like roll somewhere, then get ready to mash A and B, and then it's just like 3-4 text boxes, and then get ready to hold your thumb on the joystick, the control stick again. This route has a pretty good rupee route. Sadly enough, 1/3 of all the rupees are dependent on how well you snowboard, and you might not always snowboard so well. But there are backup rupees that I will talk about. But if you see an extra green rupee lying around and it's like it's right there and it's not really out of the way, then do go for it. So if you just stand still and do nothing here, then that trigger will not happen. But if you just move around or do an attack and then stand still and do nothing, that trigger will happen. You can either jump attack this box or just hold slightly up left and do a B hop like that, and then you dig. So dash here, don't bonk, and then let go here, so you drop down like this softly. If you don't let go of everything, you will hop over there and land like over here. If you hold like down left now and mash A, you will probably bonk into the wall, but for the next chain you're gonna pull, you won't bonk if you just mash A during the cutscene to dash as soon as possible. Do a sharp turn to the left here, so you get really close to this platform. And already I've done lots of dash cancelling, which is jumping off a platform with a dash, like while the dash animation is still there, I guess. Like there, I dashed and then I jumped off, so when I landed again, I didn't regain my dash ability. Right here I did a B hop into that cutscene because I lose control of Link as soon as that cutscene happens, like his speed. He kind of stops, but if I do a B hop I will maintain some momentum. But yeah, dash cancelling is pretty useful, and you do it a lot in this area actually. It's pretty much just cancelling your dash by jumping off of something. And if you swim and you dash during while swimming, and then pretty soon afterwards you climb up a ledge, that's also like that also counts as dash cancelling. Try to jump with an angle like that. That was pretty good. You can hear a lot of rubble falling down. That means that you activated this trigger where you can press Z and mid the jump, and you also skipped the text box because you landed further left, like where that guy is. You landed over there instead of down there. I guess I can point like this. If you would have landed here, then Midna would have said, "What are you doing?" So you skip text box. I believe it's one text box. For Midna jumps, almost all of them you can do an early like for one frame you can jump before Midna is over by her location, like wherever she's gonna hover over to. So it's the first framer, and it saves like 1 second per Midna jump that allows for a first framer. Jump attack up here and press Z. I'm gonna hold target now, mash A and B, and then only A. And I got the first framer there. So as you can see, I jumped as soon as possible, pretty much. So you jump down and then you save on file 1. This is also to prepare for the early boss fight glitch. That will happen pretty much 30 minutes into the run. Delay your dash there before you go up the stairs, or else you will bonk. So again, dash cancelling. Like, don't dash now. Climb up so you have dash speed for that one. Dash right before the edge, and then you can dash when you land. Dash right before the edge. Dash as soon as possible, because that jump is much like you fall for a longer time. I don't know how to explain it. If you cross diagonally like this, you save 1 second as to following the line on the rooftops, and you will probably not get hit by these guys. I'm gonna hold control stick upright and mash start in A. So I jump like that. I managed to start way too much there. There are hearts here if you need them. You will do sword and shield skip now. So it's nice to at least have more than one heart, because Hugo can probably hit you. And just don't die to Hugo, that is silly. These will respawn, so you can get like 4 hearts technically. The Baldwin is called Hugo because it was named by an old runner, which I'm pretty sure it was surreal. So that's the reason. He just said, oh, Hugo is being a pain or something like that. And the name stuck. So I jump attack into this cutscene, like into this trigger where Midna is talking to me. Again, to just like maintain some momentum. And then I go and call for Hugo. And, like, I b-hop after his attention and try to roll the rock to get it. I will end this first part here, and then just watch the second one.